My fiancée told her friend she's not attracted to me anymore and is just waiting for the right time to leave. I walked in during that conversation and ended it on the spot. I'm 32 and male, and I was supposed to be at the hardware store picking up supplies for a weekend project. Got halfway there and realized I'd forgotten my wallet on the kitchen counter. Turned around, came back home. My fiancée's best friend was over for what they called a wedding planning session. I heard them talking as I approached the front door. The living room window was open because it was nice out and their voices carried. My fiancée was saying, I do love him. He's stable, treats me well, his family absolutely adores me. And there was this long pause that made my stomach drop, but I'm not attracted to him anymore. Like at all. Haven't been for months now. I'm just waiting for the right time to leave. Her friend asked when that would be. My fiancé laughed. After the holidays maybe, or after I get the promotion at work. His dad's firm already wrote me that recommendation letter, so I'm covered there. I just need to time this right. Her friend said something about still planning the wedding. My fiancé said, I know it's bad, but breaking off an engagement is such a hassle, you know. Everyone's already bought plane tickets, we've got deposits everywhere. Plus, I've already got 3 job interviews lined up through his family's connections. I just need to make this work until the timing is better. Does he know? Her friend asked. My fiancé laughed again. Please, he's completely clueless. Still brings me coffee every morning like a lost puppy. It's honestly kind of pathetic how oblivious he is. They both laughed at that. I opened the door and walked straight into the living room. They both jumped like they'd been electrocuted. My fiancée's face went completely white. She stammered out something about thinking I was at the store. I said, the right time is now. You said you were waiting for the right time to leave. This is it. We're done. Complete silence. Her friend suddenly became very interested in her phone. My fiancée stood up slowly and asked how much I'd heard. I told her all of it. The part where she's not attracted to me. The part where she's using my family's connections. The part where I'm pathetic and clueless. Did that cover everything? Her friend grabbed her bag and said she should go. I agreed. My fiancée grabbed my arm and said we needed to talk privately, not in front of her friend. I asked why. She'd had no problem calling me pathetic in front of her friend 2 minutes ago. She tried the explanation route. Said she didn't mean it like that she was just venting, that everyone vents to their friends. I pointed out she'd been venting for months while planning her exit strategy and using my family's connections. She started crying. Said I was twisting her words, that's not what she meant. I asked what context makes I'm not attracted to him anymore and he's pathetic sound better. Silence. Her friend actually ran out the door at that point. My fiancée tried to hug me while crying. Said she'd made a mistake, that she was stressed about the wedding, that she'd said stupid things. Asked me not to throw away 5 years over this. I told her she already threw it away. I was just the one saying it out loud. She wanted couples therapy, whatever I wanted. I said I wanted someone who's actually attracted to me and isn't using me as a career stepping stone. That's not you. I packed a bag while she followed me around the apartment, alternating between crying and trying to explain how I was taking everything out of context. Left for my brother's place. She called 17 times that night. I didn't answer once. Am I wrong for ending it immediately like that? Part of me wonders if I should have at least heard her out properly, but I keep coming back to her laughing while calling me pathetic. I don't know how you come back from that. The wedding was supposed to be in 4 months. We've been together for 5 years. I thought I knew her. Should I have given her a chance to explain herself? Or was walking out the right call? Update 1. It's been 2 weeks. Thanks to everyone who commented on my original post. Reading your responses helped me realize I wasn't crazy for ending things the way I did. A lot of you said she'd try to flip the narrative. You were absolutely right. I went back to the apartment 3 days after the initial incident to get more of my stuff. My fiancée was there with her mom and sister. Total ambush intervention. Her mom started immediately. She wanted us all to sit down and discuss this like adults. I told her there was nothing to discuss. Her sister jumped in. Asked if I was seriously going to throw away 5 years because my fiancée had one private conversation with her friend. I clarified. One private conversation where she admitted she's not attracted to me and is actively using my family for job connections while planning when to leave. Yeah, pretty much. My ex-fiancée looked terrible. Started crying again and said she'd thought about nothing else since I left. That she was wrong, so wrong that she does love me and is attracted to me. That she was just having wedding jitters and expressed it horribly. Her mom nodded along. Wedding stress totally normal. Said she almost left my ex's father twice before their wedding. I asked if she told her friends he was pathetic and she was using him for his family's connections. Uncomfortable silence. Her sister tried again. Said people say things they don't mean when stressed, that wedding planning had been intense. I pointed out she wasn't stressed about wedding planning. She was stressed about planning when to dump me after maximizing the benefits of staying engaged to me. My ex insisted that wasn't true. She swore she wasn't planning anything, that she was just spiraling and having intrusive thoughts. I repeated her exact words back to her. I'm waiting for the right time to leave after you get your promotion and use more of his family's connections. Those aren't intrusive thoughts. That's a timeline. Her mom's face hardened, called me incredibly cruel, said her daughter has been nothing but devoted to me. I said devoted to my family's connections, yeah. Her sister stood up and said maybe my ex dodged a bullet, that I'm obviously not mature enough for marriage if I can't handle my partner having complicated feelings. I asked if complicated feelings meant laughing while calling me pathetic. My ex sobbed louder and told them to stop, that they were making it worse. But her mom was on a roll. Said I'd regret this, that my ex is beautiful and successful and comes from a good family. Asked if I thought I'd find better. I said I'd find honest. That's better. I grabbed my stuff. My ex blocked the door, asked if we could please talk for just 5 minutes, just the two of us. Her mom and sister left, but not before her mom whispered loud enough for me to hear that my ex shouldn't beg me because I'm not worth it. Once they were gone, my ex's whole demeanor shifted. Less tears, more calculation. She said we should be realistic. 5 years together, a whole life built, shared friends, shared apartment, combined everything. Did I really want to blow that up? I said yes. She brought up the wedding deposits. Said we'd lose almost $30,000. I said better than a lifetime with someone counting down days to leave me. She insisted she is attracted to me, that I'm being so dramatic, that it was one bad day. I reminded her that bad day lasted months, apparently. She switched tactics. Softer voice. Said fine, she messed up, but didn't 5 years earn her one chance to make it right? I told her she'd had months to be honest and chose to fake it and use me instead. She said she wasn't using me. I pulled out my phone and asked if she wanted to listen to a recording of what she said. Her face went pale. She asked if I'd recorded them. I said nope, but her panic just confirmed she knew exactly what she said. She started crying again, but it felt performative. Said I was being so mean, that this isn't the man she fell in love with. I said she's not the woman I thought she was, so we're even. I left with my stuff. She yelled after me about the wedding, our families, our future. Got a text later that night. Fine, you want to play games? Game on, hope you're ready. I didn't respond. Here's where it got weird though. Her best friend, the one from the original conversation, called me yesterday. Said she needed to tell me something. My ex has been asking her to lie for her. About what? I asked. She wants her friend to tell people I was financially controlling, that I isolated her from friends, that I was emotionally abusive. She's building a whole narrative. I felt sick, asked if she was going to do it. She said hell no. She was there, she heard what my ex said about me, and it was messed up. But she wanted to give me a heads up because my ex is about to go nuclear with this story. I asked why she was telling me. She said because it's wrong. And honestly, when I walked in that day, part of her was relieved. She'd been telling my ex for weeks that she needed to either commit to me or leave me alone. My ex kept saying she was waiting for the right moment. I gave her that moment. I thanked her for the warning. She said good luck and hung up. So now I'm waiting for whatever's coming. My lawyer consultation is tomorrow. A few of you suggested that in the comments, probably good timing. Anyone dealt with an ex trying to rewrite history like this? How do you even defend yourself against accusations that never happened? Update 2, the game started fast. Thanks for all the legal advice in the comments. I took it and got a lawyer. Best decision I made. First move from my ex was telling everyone I got cold feet and abandoned her right before the wedding. Full victim story, maximum sympathy. Her parents called my parents. My mom was crying when she called me, asking what happened. I had to explain everything from the beginning. My mom went from sad to absolutely furious. She called my ex's mom. That conversation was apparently nuclear. Lots of how dare you accuse my daughter from her side. My dad got on the phone next. Told her parents that their daughter admitted she's not attracted to me and was using our family for career benefits, but sure, I'm the bad guy for leaving. Multiple witnesses heard her say it. Keep pushing and we'll make sure everyone knows the real story. That shut them up temporarily, but my ex wasn't done. The story spread through friend groups. Some people got the real version. Others believed her spin that I was cruel and abandoned her, lost a few friends over it. The ones who really knew me didn't question what happened, but here's where it got interesting. I called the wedding venue about cancellation. They told me my ex had already contacted them and said I refused to pay my half of the cancellation fee, leaving her with the full bill. I paid my entire half immediately and called her out on the lie. She texted, "Thanks for embarrassing me with the venue, really classy." I pointed out she told them I refused to pay when I'd done exactly what I was supposed to do. "Who's embarrassing who?" She responded, "Whatever, you're going to regret this. Everyone's going to know what kind of person you really are." 2 days later, the smear campaign started on social media, posts about narcissistic partners and financial abuse. Never mentioned my name, but everyone knew. Her sister started commenting on mutual friends' posts. Little digs everywhere. Some men can't handle strong women. Red flags everywhere, but love makes you blind. I ignored most of it, but then she escalated hard. The landlord called me. She told him she felt unsafe with my belongings still in the apartment and wanted me removed from the lease immediately. The landlord knew both of us well. He said unless there's a police report or restraining order, he can't remove anyone. We're both on the lease equally. I told him I'm staying at my brother's but will keep paying my half until we figure out the lease situation. He said she wants me to pay full rent since I'm not living there. I said that's not happening. She can pay her half or move out. My lawyer sent her an email laying out all the options for the apartment and the wedding costs, copied the landlord on it. She responded within an hour. "Can't believe you'd involve lawyers, so petty." Then threatened to donate all my remaining stuff if I didn't come get it immediately. My lawyer sent another letter. Removal or destruction of my property would constitute illegal eviction and theft. Any interference would result in legal action. She backed down on that threat, but the dirty tricks kept coming. Got a call from HR at my job. Someone filed an anonymous complaint alleging erratic behavior and misuse of company resources for personal legal matters. My boss knew me well. He said the complaint was weirdly vague and the timing was suspicious. Asked if I was dealing with personal stuff. I explained the breakup basics without going into detail. He was cool about it. Dismissed the complaint after reviewing logs that showed nothing unusual. He told me someone's clearly trying to mess with me and advised me to document everything just in case. Then came the really low blow. My mom called upset. My ex had reached out to her directly with a long message about how I'd changed and become controlling and cold, and how my mom should talk sense into me before I ruined both our lives. My mom wasn't having it. She told my ex she needed to stop contacting our family. What my ex said about me was unforgivable, and trying to manipulate my parents wouldn't change that. But the message worked on my ex's side. Her family was now fully convinced I'm some kind of villain. Her dad left me a voicemail about being a man and working through problems instead of running away. I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. Meanwhile, I went to get the rest of my stuff from the apartment, brought my brother and his truck. My ex's mom was there waiting like a security guard, said I had some nerve showing up. I reminded her I'm on the lease and getting my property. She said my ex is devastated, absolutely destroyed, and I just walk away like 5 years meant nothing. I said she walked away first emotionally, checked out months ago. I just made it official. Her mom insisted that's not what happened, that my ex had doubts like everyone does, that I'm twisting everything. My brother stepped in, said we're just here for stuff, not to debate the relationship. Her mom huffed but let us in. We spent hours packing. My furniture, my electronics, all my things. Her mom watched the whole time with running commentary. That couch was a gift from my parents. I said it was a gift to me. She said my ex is going to need furniture. I told her my ex can buy her own. She called me vindictive. I said I'm taking my property from a place I pay half the rent for. Near the end, my ex showed up. Clearly wasn't expecting me. Asked what I was doing. I said she told me to get my stuff, so I'm getting it. She said she didn't mean take everything. I said I'm taking what's mine, the rest is hers. She started crying. Asked how I can be so cold that we were supposed to get married. I said we were until I found out she was counting down to leaving me. She yelled at me to stop saying that she wasn't planning to leave. I repeated her exact words back to her. I'm waiting for the right time to leave. Discussed timing it after getting more connections from my family. Try again. Her mom stepped between us. Said enough, take your things and go. My brother and I finished loading the truck. My ex followed us to the parking lot screaming about how I'd regret this, how I was making a huge mistake, how everyone would see my true colors eventually. Got a text that night. Hope you're ready for what happens next. You have no idea who you're dealing with, I responded. Dealing with someone who tried to use me. Pretty sure I know exactly who you are. She wrote back, we'll see. But here's the thing that really turned everything around. Remember I mentioned in my last update that her best friend warned me about the lies my ex was planning. That friend called me again 3 days ago, said she needed to tell me something else. My ex has been talking about filing a restraining order based on fake claims. Harassment, threats, all fabricated. Her friend said she couldn't stay quiet about it anymore. I immediately called my lawyer. We're documenting everything now. Every text, every email, every interaction, building a file in case she actually tries it. Then yesterday, the small claims case. My ex filed against me for $8,000, claimed emotional distress and lost property value from furniture I'd taken. My lawyer was thrilled. Said this was going to backfire spectacularly on her. Court was today. She showed up with her mom and sister, all dressed up like they were going to church. I brought receipts, actual purchase records for every piece of furniture I'd taken, photos of serial numbers matching my documentation, text messages from her demanding I remove my belongings. The judge listened to her whole sob story about how I'd stolen her furniture and left her with nothing. Then my lawyer presented our evidence. Every single item proven purchased by me before we even met. The judge looked at my ex, ma'am, this furniture was purchased and owned by the defendant before your relationship began. You have no legal claim to it. She tried arguing, but we lived together, we shared everything. The judge said that doesn't transfer ownership. Case dismissed. Outside the courthouse, her mom started in on me again. My lawyer shut it down immediately. Told her any further harassment would result in a restraining order, and this was her only warning. They left with her mom still ranting about injustice. I know some of you said I should have been the bigger person and just walked away from everything. But why should I lose my property because she decided to lie about the relationship ending? I worked hard for that stuff. It's mine. She can be mad about it all she wants. The lease gets sorted next week. Neither of us can afford it alone, apparently. We're both breaking it early and splitting the fee. She's moving back with her parents. I'm getting a smaller place near work. Wedding deposits are mostly gone. Lost about 38% of what we put in. Splitting it down the middle hurt my savings, but honestly worth every penny to be done with this. One more update coming once everything is fully settled. This has been exhausting. Update 3 months since my original post. Final update here because this chapter is actually closed now. The resolution came from an unexpected direction. My ex's final play was trying to manipulate my dad's law firm. She called the managing partner, someone she'd met once at a family dinner, and asked for a consultation. Claimed she had a controlling ex-fiancé who stole her property and kicked her out of their apartment. The managing partner called my dad immediately. They had a good laugh about it. Your son's ex just tried to get free legal advice by playing victim. Thought you should know. My dad was done being diplomatic at that point. He called her dad directly, told him his daughter needs to stop. She tried to manipulate our firm. She's been harassing me, spreading lies. This ends now or we involve lawyers officially. Her dad apparently exploded. Yelled about how I'd ruined his daughter's life, destroyed her reputation, humiliated their family. My dad stayed calm. Your daughter destroyed her own engagement by admitting she wasn't attracted to him and was using our family for career benefits. We have multiple witnesses. Keep pushing and we'll make sure everyone knows the real story with documentation. That finally shut him up, but my ex still wasn't finished. She tried one more move. Small claims was dismissed, but she filed again in different jurisdiction. Wanted money for mental anguish this time. My lawyer killed it before it even got to court. Showed the judge the previous dismissal. Judge sanctioned her for filing frivolous claims. She has to pay my legal fees from that attempt. The real satisfaction, though, the career consequences I mentioned are playing out in ways I never expected. Remember how she'd been using my family's connections for job interviews. 3 different companies, all contacts through my dad's firm. My dad's assistant accidentally copied the wrong email address last month when responding to a colleague's question about candidate references. The email detailed the broken engagement and specifically why the recommendation letter was being withdrawn. All three companies suddenly went in a different direction with their hiring, just like that. Positions filled by other candidates, but it gets better. The promotion at her current job, the one she was waiting for before leaving me, her boss is a client of my dad's firm. They play golf together monthly. He called my dad about something unrelated to a case they're working on. My dad mentioned the broken engagement in passing. Very casual, very factual, just mentioned what actually happened when asked how I was doing. She didn't get the promotion. They gave it to someone else and moved her to a different team. Not fired, but definitely sidelined. Her career trajectory just hit a wall. My ex absolutely lost it when she realized. Started calling me from different numbers, alternating between begging and threatening. You ruined my career, I'm going to sue you. I asked what for. I didn't do anything. People talk. Consequences happen naturally. She accused my dad of sabotaging her. I pointed out my dad answered questions honestly when asked by his own contacts. That's not sabotage. That's reality catching up with her choices. She tried getting her dad to call my dad again. That conversation was apparently very short. My dad told him his daughter tried to use my son for career advancement while planning to leave him. She played games and lost. Tell her to move on. The lease situation finally resolved when she realized she couldn't afford the apartment alone and I wasn't budging on paying more than my share. We both broke the lease early. Split the termination fee 50-50. She moved back in with her parents. I got a smaller place closer to work. Her family tried one last manipulation attempt. Her dad called my dad for a man-to-man conversation about not giving up on love. My dad shut it down, told him his son didn't give up on love. He gave up on a woman who was using him while planning her exit. There's a difference. That ended all contact between our families. I got one final text from my ex a few weeks ago from yet another new number. Said she hoped I was happy, that I destroyed her career, turned everyone against her, ruined her life. All because she had one moment of doubt. Hope karma gets me. I thought about responding. Then I remembered she's the one who planned to leave me after maximizing benefits from my family's connections. She's the one who called me pathetic to her friend. She's the one who played games with our relationship while I was planning our future. I blocked the number instead. Her best friend reached out one last time, said my ex has been telling people I'm some kind of sociopath who destroyed her life on purpose. Just wanted me to know. I told her to let my ex talk. Anyone who knows me won't believe it. She agreed and said my ex is pretty bitter that the job stuff really hit her hard. I said actions have consequences. She said fair enough and told me to take care. Saw a mutual friend at the grocery store last week. She looked awkward but came up to me anyway. Said she'd heard about everything and wanted me to know she believes my side, that what my ex said to her friend was awful. I thanked her. She mentioned my ex has been pretty vocal about blaming me for everything, that her family is telling anyone who will listen that I'm vindictive and cruel. I told her they can tell whoever they want. Doesn't change what actually happened. It's been a few months now, doing better. First few weeks were rough, second-guessed everything, replayed that conversation constantly. But then I'd remember her laughing while calling me pathetic, remember her planning her exit while I was planning our wedding. Remember her using my family's connections while faking attraction to me. You can't build a marriage on that foundation. Started therapy a month ago. Therapist asked if I had regrets. I said ending it. No, not seeing the signs sooner. Yeah, she asked what signs I missed, the growing distance, how she always had excuses for date nights. The lack of physical affection over the last few months. I wrote it all off as wedding stress. Never thought she'd completely checked out and was actively planning to leave. My brother's been solid through everything. Doesn't ask questions, just shows up when I need company. Mom tried setting me up with her friend's daughters last week. I told her I need time. She said I can't let one bad person ruin me for everyone else. I told her I'm not trying to, I just need to figure out what I missed first. She said I didn't miss anything, that my ex was just a good liar. Maybe that's true, deleted all the photos finally. 5 years gone in about 20 minutes of hitting delete on my phone and computer. Found the engagement ring in my sock drawer last week. Had forgotten I'd even grabbed it when I moved out. Debated selling it. Decided that felt petty. Mailed it back to her parents' house with no note. Got a text from her mom saying I was unnecessarily cruel. Blocked that number too. The wedding would have been this weekend, actually. Felt weird for about a day. Then mostly just relieved. She's apparently dating someone new already. Some guy from her gym, according to the mutual friend Grapevine. Good luck to him. Hope he keeps better track of his family's professional connections than I did, taking things day by day now, working out more, spending time with actual friends who didn't disappear when things got messy, figuring out who I am outside that relationship, working on trusting my instincts again. The revenge some people expected in the comments never materialized because I didn't need elaborate schemes. Just let reality play out naturally. She wanted to use my family's connections. Those connections vanished when the truth came out. She wanted to time her exit perfectly after maximizing benefits. Got her exit on my timeline instead. She wanted to play games. Turned out she wasn't the only one who could play strategically. The difference is I played with facts and consequences. She played with lies and manipulation. One of those strategies has staying power. The other collapses under scrutiny. Still hurts sometimes. Not going to lie about that. But it's honest pain now instead of living a lie with someone who was literally counting down to leaving me. Moving forward without someone who thought I was pathetic while using me as a career ladder. Without someone who could laugh about my cluelessness while planning to abandon me after the wedding deposits were sunk and the professional connections were secured. The right time turned out to be that afternoon when I walked through my door and heard the truth she never intended me to hear. Best decision I ever made was not giving her the chance to lie to my face. Best decision was ending it immediately before she could spin the narrative. Best decision was protecting myself instead of trying to save something she'd already killed months ago. Thanks to everyone who commented on my posts. Your perspective helped more than you know. To anyone going through something similar, trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And if you accidentally overhear the truth, believe it the first time. Don't let them talk you out of what you know you heard. Moving on now. Actually moving on, not just saying it. This is my last update. Time to close this chapter completely and figure out what the next one looks like.